everybody, it's Avril from Midge Titch Yoga here. Lovely to see you all. Well, I'm a little bit excited. I've received a brand new book. I love getting new books. The Blue Beyond by Jeanne Willis and Bethany Christo. But you see, it's a little bit long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read some this evening, some on Wednesday and some on Friday. So be sure to keep popping back to find out what happens. Are we ready to start? It's so beautiful and the pictures are wonderful. Here we go. It was dawn, and as the sun rose above the sleepy lagoon, Lana, the butterfly fish, rocked gently in her seaweed cradle, blowing bubbles in her dreams. They were little bubbles because she was only a little fish, but her dreams were big, far bigger than she was. She wanted to be the greatest explorer in the world. See how wonderful. As far as Lana knew, the lagoon was the whole world. Every day she woke up in the same safe water with the same best friends and played her same favourite game. And today was no different. Let's play explorers, she called as she swam over to her friends. The other butterfly fish formed a shoal and followed as Lana darted about, searching for new places, new faces, new anything. The fact that everything was exactly the same as yesterday didn't matter. If she couldn't find anything new, she just used her imagination. Wow, I found a mermaid's comb, Lana called. The shoal shimmied over and gazed at the long spiky shell sticking out of the sand. Wow, they echoed. Can you see? Let's look for mermaids. Follow me, said Lana. Lana and her friends spent a wonderful day looking for mermaids. They didn't find any, but nobody minded because Lana thought they might find one tomorrow. Meet me in the morning, she instructed, before making her way home. As Lana drifted off to sleep that night, she dreamed she heard the salty sea song of a humpback whale, and although she had never met a whale before, she understood every word. Swim away, little fish, on the foaming tide. There's a big, brave world on the other side, where the dolphins ride on the oceans wide. Swim away, swim away, swim away. When Lana woke, she couldn't get the song out of her head. Was there really a big, brave world out there? What a wonderful place it would be to have a great adventure. I have to go and find out if the whale is telling the truth, she thought. She went to tell her friends who were waiting to look for mermaids. There's been a change of plan, said Lana. She repeated what the dream whale had told her about the world beyond the reef. They listened with open mouths. Is it true? If I want to be a great explorer, I must follow my dream and find out, she replied. There was only one problem. How? The coral reef that circled the lagoon was too high to swim over, and there were no waves to carry her. Lana fanned her fins and thrashed her tail to try and make a wave, but all she could manage was a soft ripple. If only I was bigger, if only I had more fins, if only I had more tails, she grumbled. You have us, called her friends. That's it, Lana beamed. Between us, we have hundreds of fins and tails. Together, we can make big waves. All together now. 1, 2, 3. All the butterfly fish flapped their fins and thrashed their tails until the water began to froth, roll, crash and splash. It formed a giant wave that carried Lana higher and higher, right over the top of the reef. Woohoo! This will be the best adventure ever, Lana exclaimed. Wow, can you see? Oh, they're creating a huge wave. Oh, woohoo! Over she goes. Wow. The shoal listened for a little splash to make sure that she'd landed. "Stay safe," they called as the lagoon returned to its calm, quiet self. But on the other side of the reef, the waves were wild. Lana gazed at the never-ending sea of blue. The dream whale had told the truth. At first, Lana felt bold and brave, but as the tide tugged her further out to sea, she began to feel anxious and lonely. "I wish I had someone to share my adventure with," she sighed. Then, beneath the waves, a shadow, gliding silently along. She wasn't alone. Lana had no idea what it was, so she froze. But with a loud snort, a scaly snout poked out of the water, followed by a pair of wise brown eyes. Who do you think it is? Can you tell? I think you can. "Ahoy there," said the friendly sea turtle. "What's little fish like you doing in the wide open sea?" "I'm having a big adventure," exclaimed Lana. "You've come to the right place," Turtle beamed. "I've lived in this ocean for 100 years and seen creatures beyond your wildest imagination." "The dream whale told me about them," said Lana. The turtle patted her gently with a leathery flipper. "Did he now?" she asked. "A dream ocean is one thing, but this is a real one, which is very different kettle of fish. There are things that sting and sharks with jagged teeth." "That won't stop me. I want to be the greatest explorer in the world," Lana insisted. "You're a brave fish," Turtle replied. "But while the sea is beautiful, it can also be dangerous. It would be foolish to travel alone." "Come with me then," said Lana, "if you can keep up Grandma." And she blew a raspberry. Turtle pretended to be shocked and threw back her head and laughed. "I may be old, but I know this ocean like the back of my flipper. Besides, it would be nice to have someone to talk to." Lana wiggled with excitement, and shielded by the turtle's enormous shell, she dived down to explore the seabed. Can you see? Oh, wow. "Can you see Ray?" said Turtle. "He has both eyes on one side of his face." "Where?" asked Lana. "There in the sand," replied Turtle, waving a flipper. "He's a master of disguise." Lana poked about, and suddenly a flat fish, who was the same colour as the sand, shot back in surprise and flapped away like a startled pancake. "Come back," called Lana. "I just want to play." Can you see him? That's Ray. Stingray. It's a big fish. Then a funny creature came chugging along. "That's a sea cucumber," Turtle whispered. As it shuffled away, Lana noticed a tiny face poking out of its behind. "It's got something sticking out of its bottom," she announced. "It's a pearlfish," explained Turtle, "and that's where it likes to live. Don't ask me why. Strange things happen at sea." Strange, but nothing to be afraid of, thought Lana, and filled with new confidence, she swam off to play with an octopus. So, don't forget, come back on Wednesday evening for a little bit more of our wonderful story. So lovely to see you this evening. Take care, everybody. Love you all to bits. Night, night.